Well, how are you?
I'm so good. I'm hiding from my kids
Oh,
right now down in our basement studio, and just we are all recovering still from that stomach virus we had last week.
yeah.
And thank you so much for your flexibility. It everyone in our house got it, and so just yeah, it was crazy.
So you're not
But we're good. We're getting there. Yeah.
then you have to take care of your kids who aren't feeling good. Yeah.
I know, I know. Thankfully, Keith and I got it at different times, so he was able to take care of them while I was sick, and then I took care of them while he was sick because
Oh,
they had it longer than us. So yeah.
tell me about your kids. How old are they?
So Levi will be 5 at the end of August, and Lila just turned 2 in February. So that means I haven't slept in 5 years,
Yeah.
and they're just the best. I mean, I want to punch a wall. They're so cute. Like
Mhm.
just amazing. And we weren't supposed to be able to have kids. And so there's a lot of gratefulness in our house surrounding our children, and
Yeah.
just really thankful for God's provision in that way.
So with summer coming up, do you guys have fun things planned with your kids?
We do. We have a few trips, and I'm so excited because they love the beach. And so we're going to the beach, and it's been a long time since we had a vacation. So I'm really looking forward to that. And uh, just, seeing them experience new things, especially Lila, because she's 2, and so everything is new for her. So yeah, we're super excited, and to spend some time with some family. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get a break from like being on the road or like performing and you just get to take the summer off, or do you still have a lot of other things in there?
We both still have shows. So my husband plays for Toby Mac. He's in Diverse City, and so they still have shows over the summer, and I still have some shows too, but it is lighter than it has been. So we're thankful for that because I think you need a breather. It's
Yeah.
godly to rest.
Yeah.
So
So when you are busy and being a mom and being an artist, how do you find time to rest? And how do you spend that time?
I am still figuring it out. I I try to fit it in when I can. So, um, you know, baths at night, or like getting up a little bit earlier and having coffee and reading for a few moments before they, jump on me in the bed. Stuff like that. I really try to like capitalize on moments. And so, um, and my husband and I think we do a pretty good job of trying to keep, consistent date nights. And yeah, I mean, I think I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't know if you ever have it figured out in life, real balance. And so I feel like some kind of ball is getting dropped all the time. It's just a matter of, is it an important one, or a, kind of, a medium one? But yeah, I'm just thankful every day when people are fed in my house. Like if everyone gets fed, and uh, they may have had a bath, they may not, but as long as they're fed and okay, we're good.
There you go. So
Bare minimum.
yeah, your album's been out for a week. How do you feel?
It's great. I mean, when you record an album like this, a lot of times you've lived with it for so much longer, and you've been done with it even for so much longer than when it comes out. And so when the response is positive, it's really, really awesome. And it's been so great. I think the songs are really ministering to people already, and already getting people right in about stuff. And so, when I first started doing this, and people started writing in long letters of what God was doing in them and through the music, I was overwhelmed, honestly. Like, especially with the harder situations that people would write me about. I was kind of taking that with, on,
Mhm.
and carrying that weight at night when I went to sleep. And not because I have a savior mentality, but because I really just felt like I was just thinking about their situations. And so I really had to learn how to release that, and instead of taking that weight on, praising God for what he was doing in the middle of it. And so now when songs or new projects come out, I start to get excited about the letters and the people writing it. Like that is what keeps us going, in hard times. So yeah, it's very exciting.
That's awesome. Tell me about your latest single, How Far, and the story behind writing it.
Yeah, it's really, I'm going to plug my computer in while I'm talking to you
Oh,
so I don't lose
really good.
you. Um, it really is a cross between the story of the prodigal son
Mhm.
and in Psalms when David says, "There's nowhere I can flee from your spirit." And I think for a lot of people, we think that we have just messed up too much, that God might be holding out his best from us because of our mistakes. And it's just not the way God works. And it's not his heart for us. And so, when you think you're too far gone, you're just not. Okay, I'm going to plug my computer in.
Okay.
I started interviews at 7 today, and I
Oh my
realized all of
word.
them were phone interviews, and I forgot to plug in my computer because you were the first Zoom. So
Oh, perfect. So my favorite line in How Far is time to come back home, my child. I just love that one. I just wanted to share that. I just think that's
me
a
too.
beautiful line. That's awesome.
Yeah, every time I have sang that line live, sometimes I don't get through the whole line because I'm smiling so much when I sing that
Oh,
line. Time to come back home, my child. Oh, so I came running. Oh my gosh, I love it. And I love the difference between the first uh pre and the second pre, because the first one is I kept running from him. And
mhm.
then that image of the turn and saying, no, so I came running to you, God. And I love that image of running from God, but then running straight back to him.
Yeah, I love that. One of my other favorite songs from your album, and I heard you perform this one live at the Momentum Radio Conference last summer, but I
Yeah.
love Braveheart. And
Oh
that
yeah.
one's just meant a
Oh
lot
my
to me.
gosh. That is one of my favorite. I am most proud of that song than any
Okay.
other song we've ever put out. I love the story behind it is so meaningful. And I think it's brought a lot of hope to a lot of folks who feel like giving up. So
Mhm. Would you mind sharing a little bit about the story behind it?
yeah. So I had been introduced to a woman by a man in my small group. Um, he said, considering your history of depression and suicide, we thought maybe it'd be good for you to walk alongside her in life for a second. And so as I got to know her, I found out that she had been trafficked by her family when she was 4, and she was rescued when she was 34. It was like one of the worst cases the FBI had ever seen. She didn't know how old she was. She didn't have a name. She'd never used money or been in a store or driven a car or anything like that. And as I got to know her, I was just heartbroken by her story. And we we wrote a song for her called Braveheart. And I thought, man, it'd be so awesome to send that song to her when the timing seemed right. And it just never seemed appropriate. And so I just kind of held on to it. And I thought, well, I'll send it to her at some point. And so months passed, and our mutual friend reached out and he said, no one's heard from her for 3 days. She's been missing. Turns out because she was beaten every day when she was trafficked, she has seizures. And so she had a seizure in a basement somewhere doing laundry and wasn't found. And long story short, she was in ICU and they were going to take her off life support. And so I knew that it was time to send her the song. So
Yeah.
we sent her the song along with a prayer from our small group, and she shed a tear. And so the doctor was like, well, we can't take her off life support because there's too much brain activity. Turns out he was a Christian, and had heard our prayers and the song. And so they kept playing the song for her over and over and over. And that night she woke up. And
Wow.
so just a really beautiful song. And I think the recording is one take. I literally came in to sing it, and I was so inspired and
Yeah.
feeling that moment, so it was a great, oh, it's great. I love it. I'm so glad that you know about that song and like it too.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember like emailing Lauren and saying, "Hey, I really love that song." And she like
Yeah,
sent me a copy of it. It's like, thank
that's
you.
awesome.
I have it on my phone. Um,
That's awesome.
So, just one final question. If you have any encouragement from a listener, maybe a mom like you, what would you say to them?
You are stronger than you know.
Hmm.
Don't give up. You have more fight in you left. Don't give up and trust God, trust the process.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much, Tasha. It's been
You're
great.
welcome.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, I hope you have a great day up there in Chicagoland.
Thank you. All righty.
All right. Talk
Bye.
to you soon. Bye.